I want to tell you something that might surprise you. Most business plans are never read again after the day they are written. Not by investors, not by banks, not even by the person who wrote them. People spend weeks, sometimes months, writing 50-page business plans filled with 5-year financial projections, detailed market analysis, and sections nobody asked for, and then they put it in a drawer and never look at it again because it was never actually useful. It was performance. It looked like work. It felt like progress, but it built nothing. Today, we are doing something different. Welcome back to the Business Foundation series. If this is your first time here, this is a practical, no fluff series that walks you through exactly how to build a real business, one foundational step at a time. Before we continue, if this series has been helping you, please take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss any episode. And if you know someone who has been talking about starting a business but has not taken the first step yet, send them this series. It might be exactly what they need to finally move. In episode 1, we covered what a business actually is. In episode 2, we covered how to find a real business idea. In episode 3, we covered how to validate that idea before spending money. And in episode 4, we covered how to define exactly who your customer is. Today, we bring all of that together into one simple, practical document, a business plan, but not the kind you are imagining. By the end of this episode, you will know exactly why most business plans are a waste of time, which sections of a business plan actually matter, and how to write your own one-page business plan step by step using everything you have already learned in this series. Let us get into it. Let me explain why the traditional business plan, the one you see in business school textbooks, often does more harm than good for someone starting out. The traditional business plan was designed for one very specific purpose. It was designed to convince a bank or an investor to give you a large amount of money. That is it. That is its entire reason for existing. It is a sales document, not a working tool. It is built to impress someone else, not to guide you. That is why traditional business plans are stuffed with things like 5-year revenue projections, detailed competitive analysis spanning many pages, formal mission and vision statements, and complex financial models. None of that is useless information in the right context. But for the vast majority of people starting a small or medium business with their own money or a small amount of borrowed capital, none of it is necessary before you start. Here is the problem with spending weeks writing a 50-page plan before you start. First, it creates the illusion of progress. Writing feels productive. It feels like you are working on your business. But writing about your business and actually running your business are two completely different activities. You can write the most detailed, polished plan in the world and still have zero real-world evidence that your idea works. Second, 5-year financial projections for a business that does not exist yet are essentially fiction. You are guessing numbers based on assumptions you have not tested. I am not saying financial planning does not matter. It absolutely does. And we will cover real financial management in a future episode. But projecting 5 years of revenue before you have made a single sale is building a tower on sand. Third, an overly detailed plan can actually trap you. When you spend a long time writing something that feels official and important, you become emotionally attached to it. You start to feel like you must follow it exactly, even when the market tells you something different. This is dangerous. Business plans should adapt as you learn. A 50-page document discourages adaptation because changing it feels like admitting failure. Let me give you a real example. A young woman wanted to start a skincare brand. She spent 4 months researching and writing an extremely detailed business plan. It included branding strategy, a 5-year sales forecast, packaging design concepts, and a full marketing calendar. It was beautifully done. It looked like something out of a business school case study. But she had not sold a single product. She had not spoken to a single potential customer. She had not tested whether people would actually pay for her specific formulation versus the dozens of other skincare brands already on the market. When she finally launched, sales were extremely slow. Her actual customers cared about completely different things than what her plan focused on. They cared about ingredient transparency and quick results, not the brand story she had spent so much time crafting. 4 months of planning, and almost none of it turned out to be the thing that actually mattered to her customers. Compare that to a man who wanted to start a small cleaning service for offices. He did not write a business plan in the traditional sense at all. Instead, in one sitting, he wrote down on a single page who his customer was, what problem he solved, how he would get his first few customers, what he would charge, and what his basic costs would be. He spent maybe 90 minutes on it. Then he spent the rest of his time doing the things that actually mattered, calling small businesses in his area, getting his first 3 clients, adjusting his pricing based on what he learned, improving his service based on real feedback. Within 3 months, he had a functioning, profitable business. The skincare brand owner was still trying to recover from a slow launch after 4 months of planning. The lesson here is simple. A business plan should help you take action faster, not delay it. If your plan is taking you weeks to write, it is doing the opposite of its job. So, what should you actually do instead? You build a simple, practical plan, one that takes an hour or two, not a month, one that focuses only on the things that genuinely affect whether your business will work, and one that you can update easily as you learn more, because you will learn more, and your plan should evolve with that knowledge. That is what we are going to build in this episode. Let me walk you through the sections that genuinely matter when you are starting out. There are 7, not 50 pages. 7 focus sections that you can fit comfortably on one page. Section 1, the problem. What specific problem are you solving? This should be 1 or 2 sentences, written in plain language. Not vague, not generic, specific. If you cannot describe the problem clearly in 1 or 2 sentences, you do not yet understand it well enough to build a business around it. Section 2, the solution. What is your product or service, and how does it solve the problem you just described? Again, keep this simple. You are not describing every feature. You are describing the core value you provide. Section 3, the customer. Who exactly are you serving? This is where everything from episode 4 comes directly into play. Your customer profile, their demographics, their pain points, where they are found, belongs right here. If you have not built this yet, go back and watch episode 4 before continuing, because this section depends entirely on that work. Section 4, the competition and your advantage. Who else is currently solving this problem? Even imperfectly? And why would a customer choose you over them? This does not need to be an exhaustive competitive analysis. It needs to be an honest answer to one question. What makes you different or better in a way that matters to your specific customer? Section 5. How you will get customers. This is one of the most overlooked sections in business plans, and it is one of the most important. It is not enough to have a great product. You need a real, specific plan for how people will find out about it and decide to buy. Will you use word of mouth, social media, local partnerships, direct outreach? Be specific. I will market on social media is not a plan. I will post 3 times per week on Instagram, showing before and after results, and I will offer a referral discount to my first 10 customers is a plan. Section 6, your costs and pricing. What does it cost you to deliver your product or service? What will you charge? And what is the difference between those two numbers? This does not need to be a complicated financial model. It needs to be an honest, realistic look at whether the numbers actually work. We will go deeper into pricing in episode 7, but a basic version of this needs to be in your plan from day 1. Section 7, your first 90 days. What are the specific actions you will take in the next 30, 60, and 90 days to get your business moving? This turns your plan from a document into a roadmap. Without this section, even a good plan stays theoretical. That is it. 7 sections. Problem, solution, customer, competition and advantage, customer acquisition, costs and pricing, and your first 90 days. Notice what is missing from this list. There is no mission statement. There is no 5-year financial forecast. There is no 20-page market research report. Those things are not inherently bad, but they are not necessary for you to start. And trying to perfect them before you start will only slow you down. I want to be clear about something important. This is not me telling you that planning does not matter. Planning matters enormously. What I am telling you is that planning should be fast, focused, and practical, not slow, exhaustive, and theoretical. A good plan should take you 1 to 2 hours to create a first draft. Not because the work is unimportant, but because at this stage, you genuinely do not have enough real-world information to make it more detailed than the real learning happens once you start operating. Your plan should be a living document that gets updated as you gather real evidence from real customers. Now let us actually build one step by step. I want you to get a single sheet of paper or open a blank document because we are going to fill in each of the 7 sections together using a real example as our guide. Let us use the example of someone starting a home cleaning service, since it is simple and relatable, and most of the principles will transfer directly to whatever business you are building. Step 1. Write the problem in 1 or 2 sentences. For our example, busy working professionals do not have time to clean their homes regularly, and many do not trust strangers in their home without a recommendation or a clear sense of reliability. Notice this is specific. It is not people are busy. It names exactly who, exactly what frustration, and exactly why existing options might fall short. The trust issue. Step 2. Write the solution in 1 or 2 sentences. For our example, a reliable, vetted home cleaning service that offers consistent quality, transparent pricing, and the same cleaner each time to build trust and familiarity. Notice the solution speaks directly back to the problem. The problem mentioned trust. The solution offers consistency and the same cleaner each time as the trust building mechanism. Step 3. Describe your customer. For our example, pulling from the customer profile method in episode 4, working professionals aged 30 to 50, dual income households living in mid to upper income suburban areas who value their limited free time and are willing to pay for reliability and consistency over the cheapest possible price. Step 4. Identify your competition and your advantage. For our example, several independent cleaners and a few larger cleaning companies operate in the area. Independent cleaners are often inconsistent and hard to reach. Larger companies send a different cleaner every time, which reduces trust and quality consistency. My advantage is guaranteeing the same cleaner for every visit and a simple, transparent online booking and rebooking system. Step 5. Describe how you will get your first customers. For our example, I will start by offering a discounted first clean to 10 households in my immediate neighborhood and ask each satisfied customer for one referral. I will create a simple Instagram and Facebook page showing before and after photos of cleaning jobs. I will join local community Facebook groups and offer a limited time introductory rate to the first 20 signups. Notice how specific this is: specific numbers, specific platforms, specific actions. Step 6. Outline your costs and pricing. For our example, cost to deliver one standard clean, cleaning supplies, transportation, and my time, costs approximately $15 in materials and 3 hours of labor. I will charge $50 per standard clean, leaving a reasonable margin once my time is factored in, at a fair hourly rate. As I take on more clients, I will explore hiring additional cleaners and adjusting pricing based on real demand. You do not need exact final numbers here. You need a realistic, honest first estimate that proves the basic economics make sense. Step 7. Write your first 90 days. For our example, in the first 30 days, I will set up my social media pages, design simple pricing materials, and secure my first 5 paying customers through direct outreach to neighbors and personal contacts. In the next 30 days, days 31 to 60, I will collect feedback from those first 5 customers, refine my service based on what I learn, and aim to reach 15 total active customers through referrals and local community group marketing. In the final 30 days, days 61 to 90, I will evaluate whether I need to bring on a second cleaner to handle demand, and I will review my pricing to ensure it reflects the value I am providing. That is a complete, simple, one-page business plan. It took us about 10 minutes to walk through, and if you were doing this for your own business, having done the work from earlier episodes already, it would take you maybe 1 to 2 hours to write properly. Notice what this plan does that a 50-page document does not. It is something you can actually look at every week and ask yourself, am I on track? It is something you can update easily when you learn something new. It does not trap you in assumptions you made before you had any real information. This is what a working business plan looks like. Not a document to impress someone, a tool to guide your own decisions. Let me now walk you through a second complete example from start to finish, using a completely different type of business, so you can see how this framework adapts to different situations. This time, let us use an online business. Specifically, someone starting a small business selling handmade jewelry. Problem? Many people want unique, personalized jewelry for gifts and special occasions, but mass-produced jewelry from large retailers feels impersonal, and fully custom jewelry from established jewelers is often too expensive for everyday gift-giving occasions. Solution: affordable, handmade, customizable jewelry pieces that can be personalized with initials, birthstones, or short engravings, positioned as a meaningful but accessible gift option. Customer: primarily women aged 22 to 40, shopping for gifts for partners, friends, or family members, or for themselves who are active on Instagram and Pinterest, value uniqueness and sentimentality over brand names, and are willing to spend a moderate amount, more than a mass market item but significantly less than fine jewelry, for something meaningful. Competition and advantage. Large jewelry retailers offer mass-produced items that lack personalization. High-end jewelers offer full customization, but at prices far beyond what this customer wants to spend for an everyday gift. My advantage is occupying the middle ground. Genuine personalization at an accessible price point, with quick turnaround time, compared to traditional custom jewelers. How I will get my first customers. I will create an Instagram page showcasing pieces, with a strong focus on real customer stories and the meaning behind specific pieces. I will offer a launch discount to my first 15 customers in exchange for honest reviews and photos I can repost. I will reach out personally to 5 friends or acquaintances who are likely to buy as gifts for upcoming occasions like birthdays or anniversaries. I will explore small local pop up markets to get direct face to face feedback and sales. Costs and pricing. Average material cost per piece is approximately $8. I will price standard pieces at $32, which covers material costs, packaging, platform fees if selling through a marketplace, and a fair return on my time, while remaining accessible to my target customer. First 90 days. In the first 30 days, I will create my product photography, set up my Instagram page and online store, and secure my first 5 sales through personal outreach. In days 31 to 60, I will run a small introductory promotion, gather customer photos and testimonials, and begin posting consistently 3 times per week. In days 61 to 90, I will evaluate which specific products are selling best, discontinue items with low interest, and consider whether a local pop up market or small wholesale partnership with a local boutique makes sense based on demand. Notice that both examples, a local cleaning service and an online jewelry business, followed the exact same 7 section structure. This framework works whether your business is local or online, whether it is a service or a physical product, because the underlying questions are universal. What problem do you solve? For whom? Why you instead of alternatives? How will people find out about you? Do the financial basics work? What will you actually do in the next 90 days? If you can answer those 7 questions honestly and specifically, you have a real plan, not a polished document designed to impress someone, a working tool designed to guide you. That is a wrap on episode 5. Here is what I want you to remember, above everything else from today. A business plan is not meant to be impressive, it is meant to be useful. If it is taking you weeks to write, it has already failed at its primary job, which is helping you move forward with clarity and speed. Here is your homework before episode 6. Take everything you have built so far in this series, your validated idea from episode 3, your customer profile from episode 4, and write your own 1 page business plan using the 7 sections we covered today: problem, solution, customer, competition, and advantage, how you will get customers, costs and pricing, and your first 90 days. Give yourself a maximum of 2 hours. If you find yourself spending much longer than that, stop and ask yourself honestly whether you are still planning or whether you have started avoiding the real work of testing your idea in the real world. Once you have written it, put it somewhere you will actually see it. Pin it above your desk. Save it as your phone wallpaper. Whatever it takes for you to look at it regularly and check whether you are on track. If this episode helped bring some clarity to your planning process, please subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and share this episode with someone who has been overcomplicating their own business plan. Sometimes the most generous thing you can do for someone is show them that the simple version is actually the right version. In episode 6, we are going to talk about something that connects directly to the plan you just built: how to choose the right business model for your idea. We will break down the 4 main business models in simple terms, and you will learn exactly how to determine which one fits what you are building. I will see you there. Take care of yourself and take care of that plan.